Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. I thought I'd jump on a video today and speak about distracting ourselves from anxiety and trying to refocus from anxiety and the things that I did and like what you might be doing and how it can sometimes get us into trouble. So yeah, let's take a look. So yeah, with anxiety, when you're going through like fear, experiencing chronic anxiety, which is obviously a big part of the OCD recovery journey, you know, we're gonna want to sometimes try and get that relief, right? And because of the symptoms, because they're very uncomfortable, you got the I don't know, heart palpitations, stomach churning, muscle twitching, muscle tenseness, that tightness in your chest, those stomach sensations. Very uncomfortable, really unpleasant, and really scary, and not fun, right? So it's completely understandable that sometimes we want to have respite from that. And, one of those ways that can come in is trying to distract ourselves from the anxiety. So we can do that internally or externally, right? So, for example, with me, when I had really bad fear, when I had that trigger, I try and internally like change my focus, right? So I might think of my favorite food or like my favorite holiday destination or a favorite memory or my favorite my favorite moment with one of my friends or just something nice, just to try and like distract myself and to try and be rid of that in the moment. When the anxiety trigger came in, I'd be like changing my focus, and I did that compulsively for a while, right? And obviously that didn't really help me. All that was doing was just it was a mechanism of trying to be rid of the anxiety. It wasn't accepting the anxiety. It wasn't internally being willing to experience the anxiety. It was just change focus, compulsive, and all that was doing was laying the platform for the next trigger to come in, right? I was allergic to the anxiety, which is understandable, right? And there was also other things that I was doing as well, from an external standpoint as well. So I'd be doing a lot of chores. So when I got triggered, I'd try and like compulsively distract myself by doing chores. I'd do cleaning and just tidying and just trying to think of ways in which I could like distract myself. I'd go on my games console, my PlayStation 4. I know Nick obviously had a lot of trouble with that in his OCD recovery journey, but yeah, sometimes when I felt anxious, I just distract myself with that. I genuinely just try and be like busy, and just never truly sitting with or accepting the anxiety. Oh yeah, and at work as well. So in like my office job, I'd be surrounded by quite a few people, and obviously with HOCD that was kind of hard, right? When HOCD and anxiety is blitzing away, it's very difficult to concentrate on your job, right? So what I'd be doing was I'd be at work and I'd be like just typing out incessantly, just trying to be rigid, being on my computer, just trying to just change my focus, trying to like Google something on my computer whilst working, trying to do like another task, like, and all of that was coming from the standpoint of trying to be rid. I'm not saying that when you do have anxiety that you shouldn't be like doing all those things at work, that you shouldn't be trying to work to the best of your ability, but when it's coming from that standpoint of trying to be rid, that's where you get into trouble. What you need to do is you need to go about your day and you need to engage with the world whilst you're experiencing the anxiety, without the expectation of it going, without the expectation of being rid of the anxiety. So let's just use the work for example. Let's just use the work example. So you might be sat at work, you might be sat on your computer, and you feel really anxious, right? What you don't want to do is just trying to be busy just to try and be rid of the anxiety. No, what you want to try and be doing is trying to do your work to the best of your ability whilst experiencing anxiety. And I remember when I was doing that, and it meant for me that my output at work wasn't always that good. You are going to notice the anxiety, right? Whether you're at work, whether you're going through life, it's not a crime to actually notice the anxiety. Because of how uncomfortable it feels, you actually are going to notice on it, and you are going to like hone in on it sometimes, right? But all you can do is just do the job at hand to the best of your ability, without having the expectation that your anxiety is going to be gone forever within that next moment, because the chances are it's not gonna. Anxiety recovery is a long-winded slug, very difficult. Obviously it's not impossible and it's not rocket science, but you know, when you're trying to just come from that compulsive be rid standpoint, you know, it's really, really, really not helpful, and it's just laying the platform for the next trigger to come in, right? So yeah, you just need to engage with the world as best as you can, as normally as you can, whether that's working, whether that's seeing your friends, whether that's exercising, you know, without the expectation that your anxiety is going to be gotten rid of in the next moment just because you've distracted yourself from it. Yes, life structure and that sort of thing is very, very good for recovery. It's actually a key part to recovery. But yes, as I said, when you're trying to like refocus or like change your focus from your anxiety, that's when we get into a slippery slope. Not only is that compulsive, but it's also very, very like it's not really like possible, right? When the anxiety is really, really strong, you're going to notice it, and that's all right. You know, it's not a crime. So I think when like going through the recovery journey, you just need to be really, really careful of that. And it's not going to be perfect. You are going to notice it, which is obviously fine. But, you know, what you have to do is, as I said before, weather the anxiety as best as you can whilst breaking down your irrational beliefs about the anxiety. You know, saying that it's very uncomfortable to experience anxiety, but it's not, you know, it's not fatal. You know, looking at your rigid shoulds, oughts and musts, you know, those rigid demands that make us really, really sort of inflexible towards the anxiety. You need to just try and loosen up the hinges a little bit, saying that, you know, you prefer not to be anxious, but, you know, if you are, then it's it is what it is. Like, scientifically, there's no reason why you shouldn't be anxious, etc. Those Albert Ellis books, really, really helpful for that. So yeah, I think, you know, just the final message of this video, just to be really, really careful when you're trying to like out distract and outthink anxiety and refocus from anxiety, because, you know, anxiety unfortunately is always going to win in that moment, and it knows that you want to be rid, it knows that you don't want it there anymore, and, you know, engaging in that behavior is just is really, really not going to help you. So yeah, as I said, wearing the anxiety whilst you engage with the world, getting comfortable whilst being uncomfortable, doing the best that you can whilst you do feel anxious, doing the best work that you can. It might not be 100% great, but you just need to have some compassion for yourself, you know, doing the best that you can for your family, and, you know, in your social interactions. You know, that might not be you know, 100% easy and ideal, but yeah, it's just doing what you can whilst experiencing the anxiety and breaking down your irrational beliefs, and you're catastrophizing around the anxiety, and, you know, just decatastrophizing it. So yeah, thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.